Hello, somebodies.
We are the Nobodies.
What are we doing here today?
Today we are interviewing the great Jesse Smith from the band Vampires Everywhere.
What's up, guys?
How you doing today, man?
Doing all right. It's a nice being home in between tours. You know, I get to play with my cats. You know, I get to catch up on my shows and my Disney Plus and my games. It's awesome. You know how it is.
Dude, I live 100 miles from my dad. That's why we're not in the same camera right now. I'm going down this weekend for the 3-day weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, nice. Oh, hell yeah.
So who takes care of your cats when you're not around?
Oh, my lovely fiance. I just recently got engaged.
Oh, congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. Yeah, she holds it down when I'm home. Or when I'm
Nice.
not home.
How often are you out of the house then? How often does tour
Oh
happen?
man, dude. So it's usually like a month on, a month off kind of deal. Sometimes it's like a week here, a month here, and then 2 weeks, and it's kind of sporadic. But usually it's like a month on, month off.
So are you 100% a musician where you have no other jobs?
So I have a little part-time thing here, mainly for a free gym membership. Another thing, a part of my life, music has been a big part of my life for almost 16 years. But fitness has also been a big part of my life. So I still, work at gyms and take personal training clients here and there. So, basically for the free gym membership while I'm home.
That's great because we both go to the gym ourselves. So we have so many questions for you today. Okay, we basically just heard about your band. I'm going to be honest with you. Someone introduced us to you and we fell in love with you guys.
Everyone at home, this is a 3-day process.
So as we ask these questions, people are going to go, oh, they should have done research. They should know this already. But I don't give a shit. I'm going to ask you what I want to know. Okay.
Exactly. And if anybody new finds us, then they're going to have these questions anyway.
Excellent. I appreciate
So let's do
that.
it.
So what year did the band start and where are you guys out of?
Okay, so the band is based out of Las Vegas. I live in Pennsylvania, but the band started in 2009, I believe.
It's a long
Pretty
time
sure.
ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I was 13 when the band first. I remember seeing the band at Warped Tour, like myself. But yeah. So the band has been around and it has had like 2 hiatuses. It was kind of weird in the middle there. The band went on a big hiatus from 2016 to 2020. Yeah, 2020.
So, I mean, first thing I noticed, you said you're from PA. How does that happen? How do you end up in the band living freaking that far away from these guys?
Yeah, dude, so it's crazy. So like times have completely changed where like online, connections happen all the time. So I knew a friend who lives here who knew somebody or knew the camp of vampires and was like, they're coming back. And I just started with another band and we just started to pick up steam and I was started to like play drums again. And he came to me and was like, hey, so they're looking for a drummer for like maybe a tour, but definitely a music video. Would you be interested? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Fly to Vegas. That'd be super sick. Maybe go on my first tour ever. That'd be cool. And then that's what happened. I kind of sent them like an audition tape. They were like, all right, can you come in and do this video? I said yes. And from there we hit it off. And I've been in the band ever since.
Do you know how many people were in that audition?
I do know a couple of names that were in the running. I don't know how many people he talked to before or after me, to be honest. But yeah, but no, I know a couple names, but it was like, yeah, it was kind of like I was there. I proved myself. I was cool to hang out with, and they were like, "You just want to stay and do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I quit my band. So the band that I was coming in, I quit that band, and then went with Vampires Everywhere. And like I said, I've been with them ever since May 2021.
Wow. So you were right in the middle of COVID.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. So it was like a COVID rebirth
there you
of the
go.
band. You know, my vocalist is the sole member. So he's like the sole original member. And then he got all of us, right? So he's been in the band since the inception. So I got to hear about like where he was in life, and COVID put a lot of perspective. And you know, for a lot of musicians, you know, I came back to music during COVID, but a lot of musicians fell out because they realized how easily it could be taken away,
Yeah.
you know? So it hurt a lot of musicians, but it also put perspective of what's important. And
Oh, absolutely.
so my vocalist was in another band. Like he started another band that was more radio rock friendly. Didn't have all the makeup and stuff.
Okay.
But this is what, you know, this is what his heart was.
Well,
So
that's great.
so yeah, we've been back and banging ever since.
Awesome, awesome. So where's the whole band from? Like you're from PA, where would the other members be from?
So right now, our bassist who was in Massachusetts and like bouncing back from Massachusetts and New Jersey, he now moved to Vegas. So all other three members are in Vegas right now. I am the outlier.
Well, how does that work then? Is it like are they waiting on you, or are you like on a plane the next day when they say let's go?
So you usually know in advance. Like things aren't usually like, oh, we have something tomorrow, right? Especially in this stage of the game, where we can kind of pick and choose what our schedule is. But we try to be as active as possible. There are times I've been on a plane for one show, and it's going to happen in April and May maybe. But it's so that happens. But how we rehearse and stuff like that is, and this goes for even the members that are there, is you know the material and you learn the material on your own, and then you come to rehearsals to rehearse. So you have it 95 to even 100% down where you're going to have it. And me, my guitarist Ghost, and my bassist Brandon, we us three have been like pretty locked in since 2023.
Yeah.
And we've done enough tours, 2 years of touring to where we're pretty locked in now.
So,
That's
what led to you becoming the drummer you are today? What was it like growing up? What were your inspirations?
Yeah, man. Wow. Oh, this is a great question. So early back, I was a big like jock. I did martial arts forever. Like I was really good at it.
You're my favorite person. I hope you know that.
Oh, thanks, man. But yeah, I did like the Junior Olympics and shit.
I got my
So,
black
like-
belt in Kaju Kempo.
Oh, fuck yeah. I have my black belt in Taekwondo.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, rock on. And I got hurt. I fractured my back in like 3 places. And then my cousin had a drum kit in his house, and I always wanted, every time we went there for Thanksgiving, I always wanted to go play it, even though I didn't know how to play. And then a friend's older brother, who was in like a crappy punk band, taught me my first beat. And then when I stopped doing all the sports, I was like, well, what else am I going to do? I really like drums. And it came so naturally to me to where I was listening to music and then I was just playing it back in my room loud as hell. And the second or third song I learned, about 80%, mind you, was Tom Sawyer by Rush.
That's a hard song, yeah.
And I showed my dad because he didn't believe me, and he was a huge Rush fan. And I played it for him, and he just goes, all right. Walks out of my room. I came home from school the next day to brand new cymbals.
That's great.
So right then and there, I was like, there's no matter what, like I gotta give this my all. And then I got into like metalcore music. Mm-hmm. And I saw this drummer named Adam Gray from this band Texas in July. They're local They were signed to Equal Vision. They did a bunch of tours. They're kind of like August Burns Red, if you've ever heard of them.
No.
Okay, so they're really good from around here, and the drummer does all like the stick tossing while like I do while I'm playing and like the twirls. I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and that sealed my fate.
Nice, nice. So I noticed on your Instagram reels, because I've been watching a lot of them, that you don't care what genre it is. Like you play everything. And
I try, man.
Yeah, as a musician, that's amazing because you got so many people that are stuck in one genre, and it's like, okay, I've heard blast beats a million times. It's like when you could take from everything from reggae all the way to pop to metalcore to thrash metal, you become an even better drummer in my mind.
Oh yeah, of course. Any good drummer likes other genres of music, and me being in like a very gothy, band that's very for the satanic imagery and the occult thing. Gospel drummers are just the best drummers. Like they're just the best to watch, and they have the best chops. Like just that is like the standard. Like everybody loves gospel drumming.
Really?
And yeah, everybody. And so I thought it was really important, to like and to not only like other music but not get pigeonholed. I was really worried about that because I do all my drum covers in the paint. Like you saw,
Yeah,
like
I saw it, yeah.
You can see it's black paint. It's not tattoos. And when I first started doing that, I had a conversation with my vocalist, and I was afraid of getting pigeonholed, being just like a goth drummer, that I had to do goth music and like no one else would look at me because of that. But I just don't care. That's just who I am. And if someone like if I were to play with Sabrina Carpenter, I wouldn't be in goth makeup. But it does, that's fine. But it doesn't mean that on my page I'm not doing a Sabrina Carpenter song in full goth regalia.
No, I love it. Like I said, I saw the black arm tattoos. I've seen it all. I'm like, oh, this guy's, I didn't know that was paint. You just taught me something. I thought you were like, one of them.
Yeah, right. So we get that a lot because the whole band does it. And a backstory on the black paint thing, it's in the goth culture. So you see a lot of bands do it, but it's ingrained in goth fashion.
Okay.
And we do it. They used to do it back in 2012 and all that stuff, but we do it to look unified. Especially when we're with bands who don't have like that heavy of paint or that heavy of makeup, we definitely stand out, and we stand out as a unit.
There you go.
So now it's really funny because people will think that it's tattoos. And I just tell them, I was like, could you believe finding 4 guys that all happen to be in a band together with all of the same tattoos? And like, we have members that have come and have gone, whether on like a trial or just, filling in, and they all have it. Could you imagine if that was the baseline to join the band, is you had to black your neck out? Oh my God.
Yo, you just
about commitment.
You're totally fucking up all my questions. You just keep giving me more questions. So what do? You go into Home Depot, be like, I need 3 gallons of black paint. Like
Yo. All right. So there is a black paint that I use.
I was gonna say I'm buying Party City freaking stock right now.
So there has been a point. There is a point, and my bassist still does this to this day. And I think my guitarist, they use acrylic paint from Walmart.
Wow.
It's 98 cents. It's terrible for your skin, but it works. I have this effects makeup little puck thing that like it's a brush, and I use it. And then that same company makes like a liquid one that my vocalist uses a lot. But no one else knows this. So we have been in talks with the makeup company that we use and we already have a product out with, of trying to make our own branded black paint.
Wow.
So It'll be so this question that comes up all the time, I could be like, this one.
Yeah, listen, that's great. You know what? If you got a fan base and you got a million bands that are trying to look like you, then why not?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That was my thought.
Exactly. It's genius.
Thank you.
Just
Thank
don't
you. I
tell the
tried.
people it's also acrylic. The way
Yeah, no. Ours will not be acrylic paint.
It's water
That'd be
based.
hilarious.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I got another question for you. We're gonna move on. So how do you write, practice, and put albums together if you're all in different locations?
Well, we went over the practice thing is like,
Yeah.
so, but basically when we get a set list, you learn the songs. The song, half of our discography is already out, right? So if we're playing an old song, you just go to Spotify and you learn it,
Okay, gotcha.
but then we have tracks and we play to a click. So a click track is just a metronome. So it's just a constant dinging in my ear. And those are synced up to tracks that have to do with like special effects, synthesizers, bass booms, a little bit of like reinforced harmonies, stuff like that. Stuff that we don't have on stage.
Okay.
Right? So we're not tracking our guitars, we're not tracking the drums or bass or vocals. We're not pantomiming, it's just extra stuff to make it cool. But so we'll practice to that once you get it good. And then you rehearse together, right? Writing new material, we work with a guy named Paul Bartholomew. He is now a member of Asking Alexandria.
Oh, I've heard that band, sure.
Yeah, so one of the new members, the touring members of that band, helps us write our songs. And we consult him like he's our producer. We go to him with a lot of ideas. He comes back, we flip it back, and he's in England. So once we get like a final product that everyone's happy with, Michael goes into the studio, tracks his vocals, and then, it's off to the races.
That's got to be a long process. Like one riff, sending back and forth and drum, I got a drum beat to that and the new bass line to this. Like how long does that process take?
So, I mean, once you kind of, get a cohesive team together, it becomes a lot more streamlined to where you're kind of all on the same page, when writing, and especially with someone like Paul, where, you throw an idea at him and he's got it immediately, which is real nice. So there'll be times where I don't have to change much, where I hear it and they're like, okay, well, would you do this or this, or like, how would you write this? And then sometimes I'm like, this is perfect. This is exactly how I would play it. This is how I do play it. And then that's it.
And then they take it. Yeah.
And then they take it.
Nice.
So how does this change when you guys are actually on tour? What's like the feeling behind all of this?
So it's kind of like starting summer camp.
Huh. I wasn't a summer camp fan, so I need you to explain this one to me.
so you kind of see all your friends again. Like, so when when touring comes together, it depends on how tours start in millions of different ways. Whether we're going overseas or whether I'm coming to them, they're coming to me. So in March, we have an East Coast tour and they're coming over here. I'm already here. We end like 3 hours from my house, which is awesome.
Nice.
For me. But when we ended the last tour on the West Coast, me, my driver, and our merch girl drove the RV all the way back here. So cross country. So like sometimes I fly, sometimes I drive. It all depends.
So now every member has their own RV and it carries their own instruments to the venue, or do you or is it like their one meeting place for your instruments and then you have a driver? How does that work?
It depends. Again, it depends on how we want to start tour, but everybody brings their equipment, or we can rent equipment. So like when I go to the UK.
Yeah, you don't go with a drum set. Yeah.
No, we'll rent it over there. But I have a sponsor, SJC Custom Drums. Shout out to them, to where they have like kits all over the world, like staged in different backline companies.
Gotcha.
So I'll just hit them up and get a kit whenever I need, which is really nice.
No, it's perfect, dude.
But we've been renting RVs, so we don't own one. We've been renting. It's not cheaper, but it's a lot safer and better. Yeah, it really depends. Like sometimes I'll have to, make a deal with another drummer and we share a kit. Sometimes I have the drummers share my kit. Sometimes it's not. But it's tour by tour, and it's all logistics that make my head hurt.
Yeah, it's not easy. Okay, so let's go into video making. We noticed that you had a couple dances from Little Miss Nasty.
Yes.
We've actually seen them 2 times in New York City. They put on an amazing performance.
Yeah, they're super cool.
Yeah, how do you put your videos together? How does everybody get together? And how do you hire all your actors and dancers?
So my vocalist takes care of a lot of that. Like he's very nitpicky and like he has a vision and you're going with it. And 9 times out of 10, it's always sick, right? We've been working with his name is Alex of Black Wolf Imaging. He's been the videographer for like the last 6 or 7 videos. All of the videos that are attached to the new album are all him. So again, we when we have a team member that works and like that we vibe with, we tend to just go back, make streamlining, creativity a whole lot easier because we're all on the same page. We all grow with it, right? So videos, man, I don't know if I should give up the kayfabe. I don't know, but like, so
of course
videos,
you should.
yeah. So videos, you're pantomiming. No one ever plays live in a video ever. You're playing back to the recording.
Absolutely, yes.
Right. So like
that goes back forever.
So with editing, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. There's been a couple times where I've gone into where all of us, other than all of us, has gone into a music video shoot not knowing the song.
Wow.
Like
That's
we
awesome.
just like or not not having practiced it at all.
Yeah.
And like we haven't heard the final mix yet. We haven't, we're going in blind. We know the structure, but we don't know if it changed.
Wow.
So like, but like with editing, you just go. I kind of learn songs at music video shoots sometimes. It makes it easier because if I'm making a video for it, I'm probably might be playing it. Yeah, the only one that we haven't is White Wedding. We haven't played that live.
Wow. And you guys use a lot of green screening and
No, it's a lot of like locations, like a lot of location shots, especially a lot of like we go to LA for a lot of it. Like 99% of the music videos, it's usually like staging places in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. So you're not actually in a church. You went to a place that
Look like a church.
Looks like
inside.
a church.
and they'll have like different scenes in different rooms.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would have never known that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How long does this make the entire process most of the time if you guys are just doing it on the fly?
Bro, okay, so not long. Like it really doesn't. Because again, us being musicians, we pretty much know how to play when we go in. It's not like
$20 an hour, so you got to hurry up.
Yeah, for real. So some videos, like the performance ones, the longest is the setup. Like getting the lighting right, then the cameras. It's a lot of waiting. And then like makeup.
Yeah, hurry up
like,
and wait.
It's God, that is all music is hurry up and wait. That's it. But yeah, I've been in shoots where it's taken 7 hours. I've been in shoots that's been 3.
Wow.
Dang, that's quick.
Cool.
I mean, White Wedding is the one song that we've watched a music video for you guys.
I saw. Thank you guys for the kind words.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
No problem. So my question to you is, how often does the band end up doing covers? Because we noticed about a minute in, it's like, wait, this is a cover of a really famous 80s song.
Yeah. So This is the only album that kind of differs from that. But usually it's once an album cycle. Unless, we have a couple covers. So we're a band that it's more of just artistic. We're not looking to we're not looking to be the cover band. But it's fun for us. And it's something that gets the people going. They've been doing covers, at least one cover for album, since the inception. The first cover that, the band did was Teenage Dream by Katy Perry.
Gotcha.
So like we've done a bunch. And some of them get music videos, some of them don't. The ones recently we've just had a lot of fun with.
Well, listen, you got a band like Disturbed. Came out with Sound of Silence. Got 1 billion views. Sometimes you need a little help. Right?
Yeah.
So you make a song, people recognize it, all of a sudden they're attracted to it. Who wrote this? Now your name's there. And then if they become a fan, you win.
So, and then sometimes like Disturbed, to where I kind of feel like that's their song now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't want that, but that became their song. Yeah.
it's not that you want it or not. It's that became huge. Like I Prevail. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They they covered Blank Space.
Okay.
And that was charting alongside of Taylor Swift's Blank Space.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they got huge from that cover. And so we have a cover of Cry Little Sister.
Oh yeah, I saw it. It's amazing. It's so good.
Thank you. And so that was from the movie The Lost Boys, which is where Vampires Everywhere is from. It's the comic book in The Lost Boys.
Yeah, I figured it all had a connection, but it fits perfect. So if that's your song, that's great.
So technically for that, it's a cover, but the response we got and how different it was, we made it our own.
Yeah.
And when I play it, it doesn't feel like a cover.
No, that's great. That's good. So we usually ask all the musicians, for up-and-coming drummers or up-and-coming musicians who are trying to get into the business, what would you tell them? What to look out for? What to expect? What's your outlook on music?
I would say don't fight the times, get with it. Or at least try. The other thing I would say is just start trying. Right? Because I think what kills a lot of musicians and a lot of potential greatness is that they're waiting to put out something great.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And and you're never ever going to be satisfied with it because times are changing with it, right? And instead of putting out something now and kind of growing with the tide, you're running alongside of the tide trying to catch up. So that was the biggest thing that I have to get for myself, is that sometimes you just gotta start, you just gotta do it, and then you grow with it and then potentially become it. What to look out for is for bands, do not oversaturate a certain market. We all want to play shows. That's the big payoff of all of this. That's the small payoff, is to be gods for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And we all want to feel that. But if you're a local band, the only way to get fans and to get people to show up at your shows is to not do it all the time. Right? Everyone wants to go to the party. But if the party is happening every Friday, they can skip a few.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just telling my friend this. I was like, there are certain shows that you're going to get offers for bigger bands to where you're going to have to go to your friends, right? Who maybe don't like your band. They like you, but they don't like your band. It's easier to make a fan a friend than it is a friend, a fan.
Wow.
You know, and there's going to come times where you're going to have to ask them straight up as a homie, can you buy these tickets? Like,
Yeah.
can you buy a ticket to my show? It's important to me. And if they're a good friend, they would. But if you ask every 2 weeks, that's annoying. And now you're a bad friend.
Yeah. Once every 6 months, you know what? Okay.
Bro, yeah. Once every quarter, once every 2-3 months. Hey,
Yeah.
man, I need you to spend this $20 and come have a drink with me. Sick. I could do
quick
that.
and easy.
Yeah, I could do that. But if you ask me every 2 weeks, I'm going to block your number.
I got you. Yeah, that's pretty deep, man.
Thanks.
So I wanted to ask something from earlier. You mentioned your dad bought you the new cymbals the second he heard you play that song, right, Rush?
Yes.
So, how would you say your parents helped you out in like your growth as a drummer? How did they react to
Oh.
like you joining this band and all that?
Oh, dude. Okay, so in the early years, there's no way that I would have stayed doing this for as long as I have without supportive parents. They supported me from the beginning. They were at every show. They were the backbone of a lot of, they were the backbone of what I was and what I was trying to do. To be honest, man, dude, my dad, I remember, bought like a conversion van as his car, just in case we needed it, just in case, and we only needed it once, right? And like, yeah, it's crazy how in tune with it they were, and they believed in me. So for me, it was like, well, I have to make it at some point, whatever making it means. So unfortunately, my dad passed away in 2018. So
Sorry to
he
hear
never.
that.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And he never got to see me play with this band. But my mom, on the other hand, she loves
He's your biggest fan, man.
she loves metalcore. Like, she started coming to Warped Tour with me when I was 13, and has since went to more Warped Tours than me. So in 2012, it's funny. She snuck off to go. She was like, I'm going to go see bands I want to go see. And I was like, okay, I'll meet you up with you later. She went to go see Vampires Everywhere.
Wow.
Good. Well, that's
So like,
awesome.
yeah, so like 10 years later, her son's the drummer. It's pretty surreal for her.
That's
Man,
great.
freaking! I read something the other day where it's like there's no one in the world who will love you as much as your mother does, and
Yeah.
I think that rings true here too.
Oh,
It's-
100%.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
So what? Your father don't mean shit?
Yeah, pretty much. You're
Yeah.
okay.
Well, yeah.
You, bro.
Right. Well, my dad meant a lot to me. I was a daddy's boy.
Yeah.
So like my dad meant a whole lot to me. He was my best friend. And so I take a little, my mom got it for me, but it's like a little doll that's made like my dad, and I bring him on tour.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. So like, they're on big shows. I don't know if I'm a believer of ghosts or not, or spirits or whatever, but during big shows, like I played a big festival in July, and it was the biggest crowd I've ever played to. And I would just say, talk to him, be like, all right, I hope you're watching this shit.
Yeah.
I'm about to crush this. If you love me, you'll make me
You
remember
make
these
me
songs.
crush it. Yeah.
If you love me, Dad.
That's so good, man. That's so awesome. You know what? And every parent wishes that, as a legacy. So I got one more question, then we're gonna end this. You're gonna talk for your band. What
Okay.
would you want to say to your fans? What to look out for? What you got coming up? What you just want to say to your fans? Period.
First off, period. Thank you to the fans. Thank you. Without you, there's no us. Without you, there's no me. Right? Like, so first and foremost, thank you. We dropped a new album called The Devil Made Me Do It. That has White Wedding on it. That also has a bunch of other stuff, like Cry Little Sister. It has 2 new songs. One of them is called Antichrist. That has a video for it, which is one of my favorite videos. We have an East Coast tour coming up that I was telling you about in March with a band called Dreamwake from Connecticut and a band called Cultus Black, which we played with at that big festival I was just talking about. Amazing bands. One of them is definitely not like the other, but they're my favorite band, and you know, it's kind of like the two friends that shouldn't be best friends, but they are best friends.
Yin and yang.
That's us. And you know, they dress in neon clothing. I dress in all black and red. We're happy. But it's called the Nocturnal Tour. Tickets are available now. You can find the tour dates in my bio, in my Instagram. If you look up Vampires Everywhere tour dates.
And the description. I got you.
Perfect. You can find that in the description. And then we'll be coming around certain places. And then I think right now we're kind of talking about setting up an international tour of somewhere. But I won't say where because it's not even close to being done yet.
Gotcha.
All right.
So don't forget to buy the paint.
And don't forget to buy the paint. Exactly.
All right.
All right, really you're gonna be part of our outro now.
Oh, perfect.
All right.
Let's do it.
Remember to hit that like, subscribe button. Tell us down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video. I personally had an absolutely great time. Jesse, you're a great dude. Really fun to talk to.
Oh, thank you guys.
For taking the time out of your day to be here. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Press the little bell next to the subscribe button to get notified every time.
Every time.
Every time.
We upload a video. I'm sorry.
There you go.
And I'm Father. And you are?
Jesse of Vampires Everywhere.
Rock on.
Rock on.